Welcome back to Nifty Network. Today we have a DE350Z and I'm going to teach you how to replace your power steering pump. If yours is like squealing or it's not working or it's leaking, I'm going to teach you how to do it. Watch. Alright, so now we're going to work on the power steering pump. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff out of the engine bay. We're just teaching how-tos on how to do it. Just kind of disregard that. What you will have to do though is you'll notice that the fan shroud is out of here. You don't have to remove your fan shroud when you do this. There's those two 10s up top. You're going to remove those 10s just so that the fan shroud can move around. And the reason that you do that is because there is a 14 bolt right here. This guy, you get to him through the pulley. You actually put the socket inside of the pulley, and that is where the 14 is at. And the 14 is also really tight, always. But the reason that I mentioned the fan shroud is because when you pull this bolt out, the bolt is so long that it actually hits the fan shroud. So you loosen the fan shroud up so that you move it around and you can slide the bolt in one of the openings on the fan shroud. So that's how you get that out. You do have to remove, you don't have to remove, I guess, but it's not a lot of room. Pull the coolant reservoir out. It's 10 millimeter. And then you'll have to remove the coolant, the upper coolant pipe up here.
So you have to drain the coolant from this one.
You don't have to drain it necessarily, but you will leak some right here. And now we are going to loosen up the tensioner. So we'll loosen this front portion first. That doesn't need to come off. Just needs to be loose so that it allows this to move. We will put our 12 socket on this, and that loosens up the belt. If you want to, you can take the belt off right now. When you're swapping out power steering pumps, they always make a mess. I've yet to find out a non-messy way of doing it, so always put your bucket under the car. And then we're going to grab our needle nose right here. Okay, so we got our angled needle nose on here. We're just going to wiggle that pipe up, and then you should be able to pull up on this, and it'll come loose. This system doesn't have any power steering fluid in it. That's why a bunch of stuff didn't come out of there. Okay, then we're going to grab a 24, and it goes on this big bolt right there. I always like to break things loose that have crush washers on them, just because you kind of feel how tight the person had it before or how tight it was on. You're going to have one on the bottom, and you're going to have one on the top. So you'll see two right there. Make sure when you put it back together that you have one on top, and then you have one under this as well. And then there is a plug on here that you'll push down, and the reason you do that is just to simply get this hose kind of out of the way. That line kind of holds it back. So we're going to push this over here. Normally the fan shroud would be holding it like right there, so don't worry about that. And then the top part is a 12. I'll loosen that up. So we got the 12 out. Now we'll grab that 14 that we broke loose off. So this is when I was saying normally the fan shroud will get in the way. So you'll basically get it to like right there, and then you won't be able to move it more. So you'll move the fan shroud around, and then you'll be able to slide that out. And then grab your pry bar. And I like to go off the mount right here, and I'll kind of scoop it under it, and I'll just lift it straight out of there. And there you go. That is how you remove your power steering pump on a 350Z DE.